Hello, everyone. My name is Dawn, and welcome to the Soulful Voices Circle Daily Oracle Card Reading. Today is Wednesday, May 18th, 2022. So, today I thought we would ask the Oracle, what is it that we need to know today that we do not see? What is perhaps not being shown to us that the Oracle wants us to see today? So we are going to continue using the Quantum Oracle deck by Sandra Ann Taylor that we started with a couple of days ago. Let us close our eyes now and begin our breathing exercise. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in. Hold the breath. Slowly release it. Take another deep breath in. And as you release all the tension, frustration, anxiety, fear, doubt. Release that with your exhale. And now we're going to take a few deep breaths and we're going to listen to the silent pace of our breathing. Inhale and exhale. Inhale again and exhale. Focus on your breath. And with this inhale and exhale, on the exhale, I want you to really ease that breath into your heart center. So one more inhale and exhale into your heart. I ask that the divine light cover your heart with peace and healing today. I ask our angels and guides to come forward at this time, as well as the spirit of the Quantum Oracle deck, to help us with the wisdom and guidance that we need to hear and understand today. I ask that Archangel Michael sever any ties that may have been connected to us that are holding us down in the denseness of darkness and negativity. Feel those cords cut away. And I ask the divine light to surround us with the golden light of protection and to prevent any lower or negative energies from piercing this seal and trying to attach to us in any way, shape, or form. Thank you, angels and guides, for the wisdom you share with us today. Thank you, divine light, for the wisdom, guidance, and protection that you give to us. One more inhale in and exhale out. Now you can stay in this place of breathing or you can open your eyes. That's up to you. I am going to begin the reading. What do we need to see today? That is our question. What do we need shown to us today? Okay. Getting something pretty quick. Friends and colleagues in the reverse position. Friends and colleagues. Okay, so a friends and colleagues card is generally one where you are in community with people right? And this time it came in the reverse position. So this card is has a different message when it's in the reverse position. And the sense that I'm getting is that perhaps you have been staying away from your friends and colleagues, and maybe you need to reconnect with them a little bit more. Or maybe there's somebody amongst these friends and colleagues that you need to really look closely at and assess what is going on in that situation. So let me see what the card says, the book says today about this. So this is people, and it's card it's number 3 in the people section, and it's called friends and colleagues. Okay, people section. Okay, so it says camaraderie. Okay, so let's see in the reverse position what that means. In the reverse position, this card can indicate the loss of a friend or colleague through a change, a physical move, or even through a misunderstanding. This may just be a temporary rift that open and honoring communication can fix, or it could be something more permanent. Remember, however, as we shift our own energy and consciousness, the resonance that we once had with old friends can fall away, especially if their attitude is dishonoring. It may be time to let these people go, even if it causes some grief to do so. There will be new friends ahead, ones that truly honor you and respect you as you deserve. In its most extreme case, this card could indicate a period of significant isolation. This may be temporary, perhaps caused by extended work hours or other constrictions. Oftentimes, however, this isolation could be a long term or even a lifelong experience, perhaps one that is self imposed. You may be trying to protect yourself from loss or just feel too afraid to trust. But whatever the reason, it's time to break out. Your soul longs for the heart to heart connections of friendship and shared joy. Take a risk, get out and get going. Be open to the kindred souls that are waiting to befriend you. Affirmation: the universe is filled with caring people. I open my life to their wonderful support. So as I said, this one of the things that this card could reflect is that you perhaps have not been spending time with people, and maybe have been a little disconnected from somebody, or maybe there was somebody in the mix that you may not have trusted. So the card touches on the idea of maybe there was a misunderstanding with somebody, and if that is the case, then perhaps you can repair the fracture that exists. However, what Spirit wants you to understand is that as you grow spiritually, as you begin to shed the layers of societal impositions that you've been holding, the societal um, ideas that you grew up with, but as you begin to shed this and really begin to look into yourself and see yourself differently, perhaps differently from what the people around you see you as, then you raise your frequency to a different level than they are. And this is not that to say that you're better than they are. What it means is that you are simply, your energy is vibrating in a different, at a different frequency, that you are working to help lift your consciousness to a different level. And as you shed these layers, you, in a sense, become a different person. You're still the same you, like you still love and you still are there for people, but you you do tend to um, come across differently to people. And sometimes they find that hard to deal with. And it is not something that you have to resolve for them. That is something they have to resolve. So if they are pushing away from you for that reason, or if you find yourself just uncomfortable in their company and you are pushing away from them, then you need to give this time to kind of um, not germinate, it's not the right word that I'm looking for, to ferment, I would say. You need to give it some time to ferment. And for each of you to be able to recognize the changes in each other so that maybe you can come back together and honor each other for who you are. But if that can't be done, then you may actually need to separate out from the people or a person that you were used to being around because you are no longer comfortable in the density of the connection that you had with that person or how that person saw you. So that's one way of looking at this card. But the other aspect of this card is that you may have been through a period of time as you're going through this metamorphosis in your life and changing where you have isolated yourself a little bit more from people. And if that is the case, it's saying that perhaps there's a little imbalance in there and that you need to kind of step into the world just a little bit more. It's not saying to completely change um, what you've been doing or to take away that time that you need for yourself to grow and to really begin to understand more about who you are and the direction you want to go in. But it does mean that we do need people sometimes. We do need the touch of people. We do need to be around people. We do need to talk to people. So even if you don't want to go into a crowd or into the outside world, maybe this for you is just a phone call to a friend that you haven't seen. Maybe you can invite them over or they can invite you over and you could sit with them for an hour or two. Or if you feel like going out and partying, I guess that's up to you. You can do that as well if you want to bring people to your home and have some kind of celebration, you can also do that. But it's saying that you need to really begin to balance because as you begin to ascend into this greater understanding and into this certain vibration and resonance with spirit, that it's very easy to be pulled away from the realities of the day and to kind of get lost in that space and want to stay there. So now you need to kind of come back down a little bit and reconnect with the outside world or reconnect with the people around you. Okay, you just need that just a little bit of enjoyment, not taking yourself too seriously. Okay, so that's what this card is saying. So let's find the balance. And if there is that person or people in your life that you have kind of not been communicating with, you need to decide, is now the time to communicate with certain people? Or do you now think that that relationship, that friendship is one of your past because now you're trying to attract in a different type of relationship to you? There's nothing wrong with the people that you separate out from. It just means that you are on different frequencies at this time in your life and that you want different things and you see things in a different way. And so these are all the things that you're being called to balance at this time. So if you find that something's been bugging you lately, that could actually be at the heart of it. Like if there's been this little nudging, because I asked Spirit here to reveal to us something that we need to know, something that was hidden or we couldn't see. And so this is what it's saying, that you really need to start to look at this. You need to look at your relationships, your friendships, your work relationships, all these different things, and figure out what works for you, what doesn't work for you. At the same time, balance your alone time with uh, your time spent with other people, because we all need to connect at some point. It is fine to be alone and to want to spend most of your time alone, but it is important to get that experience with others, to be able to feel love, to be able to share love, right? To be able to connect, to allow people to touch your heart, allow you to be able to touch their heart, to be able to share in the mutual experiences that you're having as well, the ones that your soul does want you to share with others. Okay, so let's try to do that. And so let's just make sure it says, in its most extreme case, this card could indicate a period of significant isolation. And this may be temporary, perhaps caused by extended work hours or other constrictions. Okay, isolation. So, right now in our society, we are having a period of surge in the COVID pandemic. Um, I know some people say it's an endemic now, not a pandemic, still, whatever the case may be. The cases have risen in the last month or so, and more people are being called to isolate. And this is creating a huge stress on them because we all thought we were out of this. We thought we were passing it almost, right? Things were lifting, immunizations, masks were coming off, all this stuff. And now here we are. The spring is here. We're about to jump into summer, right? The flowers are blooming, the birds are singing, and we want to get out there and we want to be around people and we want to go to barbecues and we want to go to the park and we want to go to amusement parks and we want to go to all the outdoor concerts and activities and family reunions and all these things that are taking place, the graduations, the proms. Everything is just waiting for us out there, right? And here now, here we are again, where we have to isolate and we have to be by ourselves for a few days because maybe we've been in contact with somebody, maybe we are sick, and this is creating a great stress. But know this, that if you are in isolation and you cannot be around your friends and colleagues right now, that this too shall pass. This too shall pass. We are not out of the pandemic yet. We are still being confronted with a situation that our society has never, ever been confronted with in our lifetimes, probably. In our lifetimes, yes. In the history of the world, yes. But in our lifetimes, this is more than likely the first experience we've had with being called to take time out, to isolate, and so on. The good news about this card is that it's saying that, light is at the end of the tunnel. Okay? Light is at the end of the tunnel, but you just might need to do a little bit more time out right now. And then as things will eventually get better. So don't lose your hope or faith in that. But do what you're supposed to do in terms of taking care of yourself and protecting yourself, but also protecting other people by not going into the world when you know that you're sick. Okay? So I'm getting all these different messages about the pandemic right now, and I'm getting, messages of just balance in life. Everything is balanced. And soon you'll be able to participate in those things. And in fact, this card is saying, yeah, you need to get out there. We know you need to get out there and you need to not isolate so much, but just give it a moment. Okay, so I think that is enough for this card today. I wish you all a wonderful Wednesday afternoon, and I will see you back here tomorrow. Sending much love. Bye bye.